experto en creatividad, quien nos compartirá su experiencia al conocer a Dalai Lama y lo aprendido sobre liderazgo que cambió su forma de pensar.
I spent a lot of my life working in and around education, really about ideas of talent. And I did an event a few years ago in Vancouver. It was a peace summit. It was called the Vancouver Peace Summit. It was a Hong Kong. The guest of honor was the Dalai Lama. So I had to moderate the opening session. There were 12 people on the panel. The guest of honor was the Dalai Lama, and the opening session was called World Peace Through Personal Peace. We had an hour to sort that out. We were just killing time for the final 20 minutes, really, you know. But he's fantastic, by the way. Incidentally, Chris had to introduce me. I mean, come on. You know, here is a man who is the head of one of the world's oldest faith traditions, or philosophical traditions, I should say, stretching back beyond the birth of Christianity, over almost 3,000 years, I think. And in their belief system, the Dalai Lama is the embodiment of the same spirit that's progressed through all the lamas. So a spirit that's been around, you know, well over 2 millennia. So there's a lot to get in, that's all I'm saying, you know, into an introduction. And then I realized, actually, I didn't have to introduce him, because I thought anyone whose name starts with "the," you've arrived socially, haven't you? I think if you picked up the in most socials, Dalai Lama are you? That would be "the." There aren't many people that applies to, are there, really? I understand you're a pope. No. "The." Anyway, he was fantastic. He said all kinds of great things. And among them, at one point, he said, oh, I know, at one point, somebody asked him a question. Well, we all asked him questions, obviously, but there's a question that came up at one point. And he got very thoughtful. You've got to picture this. He was sitting cross-legged on a throne on the stage, surrounded by 12 of us. I actually requested a throne today. It's a budget. No. So he was there, sitting on his throne. He's a wonderful man. And at some point, somebody asked him a question. We put the question to him. And he closed his eyes for what seemed like ages, like a minute, which is a long time, you know, when you're sitting on stage. And we thought, you know, has he become enlightened this morning? You know, I hope not. I mean, if he can delay this to the coffee break, it would be great, you know. Anyway, he took a breath, and we thought, this is it, here it comes. And he leant forward, and we all leant forward. And he said, I don't know. And I remember thinking, what do you mean, you don't know? You're the Dalai Lama, you know, we don't know. But he said, no, I'd never thought of that. What do you think? See, I love that, because here's one of the world's great teachers, one of the world's great leaders, who's perfectly willing to say that he doesn't know something, and because he's never thought of it. And the whole subtext was that learning and understanding is a fabric, and we all weave it together. Nobody has a monopoly on knowledge and understanding. And great leaders know that. They know there's knowledge in the room, there is wisdom, there's experience, which they don't have, but other people do have. And you know, the sum of the parts is greater than any individual in the room. And it indicated to me that leadership is really a conversation. Learning is a conversation, it's not a monologue.